now, so everybody that doesn't get a chance to listen to it tonight can pick up and listen to it later. So great. Ready to kick off our Power of Three tonight. And we've got a great program. We kind of mixed things up a little bit this month. We typically start, those of you who have listened a couple of times, we have the welcome, the compensation plan, the Zengo story, and then Zengo products. But we kicked off, I believe, pretty much the second week of the month we had products with Dr. Templeman. And that was an incredible webinar. And if anyone here that's listening tonight didn't have a chance to hear that one, I encourage you to get the link, listen to that. We now have the weekly webinar training website that's on everybody's back office, and we'll have that posted as well as tonight's recording as well. So if you don't worry about missing these, but most important, forward them on to people that are new and listen to them when you do have the time, because we realize that you're out there, you have your lives, and you have jobs, and you have children, and we all have things that we're doing, and if it doesn't work out and you can't join us, that's all right. That's why we record them. So thanks for being with us. We're going to change it up a little bit tonight because I will not be in the office next week. And so in lieu of that, and since I'm not sure at this point if we're going to do the meeting or not, I may just cancel it because I will be out of the country. So I wanted it to be a good training tonight, and I wanted to focus on the art of inviting, because it's been such a good program for us, receive a lot of great feedback, and we call it a bonus program. And again, the training is key. We're here to create an atmosphere where you as distributors feel you get more out of this opportunity with Zengo than you would anywhere else. And we have so many new people that are joining, and it's amazing to see that these call lists are growing each week. That we do these webinars, and so we feel that we're hitting an important niche here, and we're going to continue to do these trainings and actually expand on them. Starting in November, we will start doing trainings on My Zengo Builder. So we're really excited about this new software and what it can do, and I'm actually going to probably have somebody else do that. We'll probably do it at a different day, different time, but it will be a webinar. It will be recorded. And these trainings, I think, will be key because so many people have questions about, well, how do I do this or how do I do that with My Zengo Builder? And it's important enough for us that we'll have this training out to everybody to kind of help clear up that confusion. So if you have questions about My Zengo Builder, please, send me your, email me, call me, WhatsApp me, Skype me, whatever you need to do, because we're here to help address those questions. Number one question I'm getting right now is people aren't able to log back in, and the number one reason for that is everybody gets a free 30-day trial, and the very first time you log in, that starts ticking that time clock for your 30 days. And so a lot of people are getting into it, they're kind of getting the flow with it, and they forget all about that the first 30 days are free. So keep that in mind. If you're one of those people, that's the number one question we get so far. They've been working on it, they like it, and then it's not working all of a sudden. They can't log in, and that's because they need to pay their subscription. So you can do that for either 1 month, 6 months, or 12 months. And it's a great offer. It's a great deal. And we're going to be doing so much that's involved around this Power of Three and this My Zengo Builder that I think it's worth everybody's while to be involved with that. All right. One other thing I want to address on today's call, if you do not get an invitation, an email invitation for the weekly webinar trainings, some of you may have received this invitation. Someone may have forwarded that to you. I'll give you my email address now. I'll also give it again later in the webinar. If you would like to be on these invite lists, email me at briang@zengo.com. That's briang@zengo.com. I'll make sure that your name is put on that list with your email, and then every week we have this email blaster tool that we blast out these invitations with. But again, please feel free to forward these to your teams. We love sharing our experiences with our distributors. We love hearing from you. And again, I'm just very impressed with what I'm seeing out in the field just in the month of October. It's been an incredible month for us. I didn't think that it could be as good as it was, especially, September with the international convention and all that happened there with the product launches, getting to see so many of you, even if it was for only one split second, and I apologize for that. I feel like I talk to everyone and no one. And that's how busy that event was. But October has been an amazing month, and it has sure surpassed all of our expectations. So we're kind of wrapping up this month, going into a new month, and just delighted to see what's happening. So again, keep the questions coming. I love the feedback. And again, I'm always on my phone with distributors from all over Europe, all over South Africa. If you can't reach me, it's because you're not trying very hard, and so you might have to wait a day or two tops max. But I promise you, if you're contacting me, reaching out, I will get back to you. That's our job. And if I don't get back to you, somebody else will. But we're excited about this opportunity and this plan, and just want to keep everybody engaged and moving forward. And I don't want anybody held back by questions or concerns, whether it's with a compensation plan, MyZango Builder, a product. Let me know, and we'll definitely help you. All right, so moving on, I've got this great quote. We're going to kick off tonight with a quote and end with a quote. And I just like this one because it helps with the mindset, really, about what the Power 3 training is about, and tonight's presentation on the art of inviting. These trainings are about moving forward. You know, these calls every week that we do, it's help us getting out of our comfort zone. And it really means making a decision, you know, and more important than that, you need to commit. You need to decide that you're going to do this program, you're going to try something every day. And that's why we developed the Power of 3, so that you could be trying one of those 8 steps every single day, something that you grow into. I want to make a point with this quote that you're committing to make a better future for yourself and for those that you work with. And at the end of the day, really the only person you need to worry about is yourself. That's why I say look in the mirror. That's your competition. That's all you need to worry about. You don't need to worry about anybody else, what they're doing. Just focus on what you can do today, and let's narrow that down. What can you do today? Things can be overwhelming when you look at all of the training and what other people might be accomplishing. Helps you lose focus. But focus about what you can do today, and tomorrow worry about what you can do then. But we all begin again every day, and the only thing we really control is who we are and what we do. And I'll always revert back to the Power of 3 because it is very much about personal development. And at the end of the day, it's us. Look in the mirror. That is your competition. All right. So the art of inviting. It's exactly what it says it is. It's an art. And, you know, this is something that many of you as distributors do so well. And when I have those opportunities to be in the field with you, I meet so many great distributors that I am so impressed that they could actually teach this much, much better than I can. But that's what the Power of 3 training is all. The Power of 3 training is all about: reinforcing and duplicating. And so, what's important is, while somebody out there may be the best there is, they're only good as long as they can be duplicated. And that's why we're breaking this down into simple steps. And trust me, there are masters, true masters at this. What I like about this is we're taking one step from the 8 steps. It's step number 4, sample and invite. And we're breaking it down. We're going to go a little bit deeper here and try to understand it on a much deeper level. And the art of inviting is all about how to call, how to show, how to tell, and how to invite. And again, we'll go over these in a little bit more depth today. Love to get your feedback. Because this approach is going to help you consistently deliver the same message so that your prospects will see what you see, feel what you feel. And this is really what you need to do in order to be successful. You need to become a master of this art so that you can help others become a master of it. And again, I've seen people that are true masters, but again, you're a master only so far as you can be duplicated. And that's the key about this program and about working with all of these other teams. You're only as good as you are able to be duplicated because you can't do it all yourself. All right, be in a hurry. This one always threw me because it's just, I try never to be in a hurry when I'm with anybody, unless you're one of those lucky folks that call me on the phone when I'm running to a meeting. But be in a hurry, and I know it sounds counterintuitive, and in a nutshell, the psychology behind this is that the most effective strategies are short and sweet. Your time is valuable, their time is valuable, and some of the worst things we all do is we take too much time. You're a professional, And in order to be effective, you have to have a system that leverages, and understand that leverages your time and leverages your prospect's time effectively. We've got some examples here on this slide from warm and cold markets, as you can see there. I won't read through each one of them. I hope you can see them okay. Warm markets are people that you already know and have a relationship with. A cold market are your perfect strangers that you're going to meet for the first time. And most people, if you're like me, we all have short attention spans, especially if you're in a meeting. Think about it. But if somebody wants to talk to you for 30 minutes, for an hour, it's going to be an inconvenience. And that's not what this is about. All right? It's about, we're a microwave society. How many of us stand in front of the microwave for 30 seconds and feel like it's an hour? That's just how we are, that's who we are, and that's how we need to gear our presentations. We need to be able to deliver quickly, pertinent, important information, and then be able to follow up on it. All right. Again, just to reiterate this fact, I've got a funny saying here, and I think I've said it before. How long 1 minute is depends on which side of the bathroom door you're on. I like to have that as a rule of thumb with these presentations too. All right, 80% of all sales happen between the 8th and 12th contact. And when you understand that, and we emphasize this again and again with the power of 3, so many people try to make that sale on the first contact. And think about that, 80%, where should you be spending most of your time? 80% are between the 8th and 12th contact, okay? Time is money for both of you. It's an asset. How well you utilize this asset is going to benefit you throughout your life. Most important, with the power of 3 strategy, you're going to strategically create a sense of urgency. There's a psychology to this program. It starts with urgency and it ends with urgency, and we're going to get to that later here. All right. A sincere compliment. This is just my opinion, but I don't think there's anything more dangerous sometimes than paying a compliment. Every one of these 8 steps are in and of themselves an art, okay? And with this particular step, it's really easy for a lot of us to get into trouble. I think Ryan Anderson said on a couple calls ago that everybody has a BS detector, and if BS doesn't translate, it's another word for saying bullcrap. We don't want to be that type of person. We have great examples here of the warm and cold markets again. If you can read those, those are actually really small for me. But let's read them. I think the key here is sincerity, and we all know that it's often imitated, seldom duplicated, and it's difficult because none of us are masters of it naturally. A few might, but most of us are not. But if you do it right, you open up your door for better and continued communication, and that's again what this is all about. This training is to help you get to between that 8th and 12th step. This is all about getting you to the next step, and so you don't have to worry about making a sale. All you're doing is making a contact, and you're creating a positive experience. You're building rapport with this distributor. And if you do it right, you open the door to that type of communication. But if you do it wrong, then that wall goes up, and then we don't get past that point. And that's where we don't really develop. That's where we don't sharpen our skills. And again, the key here is, with first impressions, you usually don't get a lot of forgiveness. Think about the people that have complimented you in your life. Who has made a lasting impression? Common courtesy, we all know that it's not so common, so keep that in mind. And my favorite examples that I always come back to are restaurants, clothing stores, and you can see where it's so great. People that are very attentive, they take care of you, they're worthy of learning from. You also see bad examples, and sometimes you learn, okay, I'm not going to do that. I will never do that type of thing. And so every example, whether it's good or bad, is a learning experience, so take advantage of it. See things differently, recognize every day in daily conversations with people what the right things to do and the wrong things to do. Be cognizant. With this program, you're creating a sense of awareness that's going to help you be a better seller, and that's what it's all about. You want your prospects to be agreeable to what you have to say, and that takes sincerity. At the end of the day, they want to see somebody that they can trust, and again, this is all about building valuable relationships. All right, make the invitation. I've come across something here, and I'd like you to take a look at it. You're invited, right, to take a look at this. Now the point of this is to sell. So what are you selling? And again, when I say that, you're not signing them up, you're not selling them on the spot. You're not selling a product at this point. You're not selling the compensation plan or an opportunity. See, there was a Skype call just came in, I had to turn off. So always in touch. We are connecting with people with what they're looking for. Just like our dreams are unique, so are our prospects' dreams unique. The ultimate goal in the art of inviting is to get people to make the connection to all of this. The products, the compensation plan, and the opportunity are all of means to help them achieve their dreams. And when you say, I've come across something that I'd like you to take a look at, think about how you were first approached. What piqued your interest? If that particular person hadn't invited you, would you be using the product today? Did they do things right? Did they do things wrong? But you maybe forgave them and still went with it. The key is what piqued your interest and what is going to help you pique the interest of other prospects. Each invitation to some degree has to be tailored to your audience. Everybody has a standard one that they use or fall back on. But the more you learn to tailor and adapt, the better you'll be at this program. Your job really is to create interest. Be sincere and be direct. And the reason why you want to be direct is so that there's nothing for people to misinterpret. All right. Don't have a canned invitation that you use for the same time for everybody all the time. We don't want to get into that kind of thing because that's insincere, it's not well thought through, and it leaves you exposed. You won't be prepared. All right, moving on to the next step. If I would you. And this is the whole reason we created these sample packs that we have in Europe and South Africa. The Limitless Sample Pack, which, just a tidbit of information here for you who are listening tonight, we're going to be expanding on this next year. It's going to be an awesome program. If you're familiar with the Best Day Yet in the U.S., it's coming your way. So, enough said there. All right, this step right here is the hook. It's where both you and your prospect give and take. So it's both of you. You got to be candid in this, and this is why the sincerity up front and step number 2 is so important. And paying in a good compliment and the invitation, they lead you up to this very key, very pivotal step, okay? So using Limitless as an example, if I gave you this Limitless sample pack, if I sent you a video, or if I give you this link, will you take it and tell me what you think? Will you watch this video and tell me what you think? Okay, and this is key because this is the first step and you have just opened up the opportunity. You've complimented them, you've expressed genuine interest in them, and you're building this rapport, and that's normally most people want to reciprocate, and this is where you need to capitalize on that. Ask them, will you be willing to try this? And the great part is, for your candidate, for your prospect, there's very little risk. You know, you're giving this to them, and they shouldn't feel pressured or cornered, most important. And as long as you're not being pushy, and worst of all, please do not be begging people to take this product. That just hurts you and it hurts the opportunity. All right? Approach it with your business head on. You have to connect with a great team to succeed in this business. You're looking for people who are going to be strong, passionate leaders on your team. This team is how you're actually going to build your business. You can't do everything yourself. That's why this is about duplication. These steps are all about you learning how to do it and teaching others to do the same, so that they can be as good, if not better, than you. Another way to look at this is you meet people. We are the sum of the 5 people with whom we spend the most of our time with. That's kind of natural. Think about that as you connect with new prospects. Are they the kind of people that are going to be the passionate builders you're looking for? Are they going to be the type of people that will expect you to do all the work for them? All right, you need to be ready that these are the type of people that are going to be your builders. This is what we're always looking for, your builders. If not, they're a customer, and that's great too, because Customer Connect program, you guys know I'm passionate about it. Why not earn 50% on all of your customers' orders and 15% on all of their customers' orders? It's a great program. But in this case, we're all looking for, ultimately, a builder, a distributor. Okay, next step, get time and a commitment. Okay, this is where it's a little awkward, especially when you ask somebody, you know, when would you be able to do this and get back to me? And this is where the commitment kind of shifts a little bit in the focus. but it's also where if you don't do it right, you lose all of your, on the previous 4 steps, you've done all this hard work, you've made an investment, and if you don't do this time commitment, you can lose all of the time that you've put into it so far. So it's very easy to give a sample away, all right? You're not begging people to take it, but it is so much easier to forget to do the follow-up, and this is where it's key. The whole part of this program is the process of getting you so that you are prepared to sign them up between the 8th and 12th contact. So that's why follow-up is so key. Most people don't see it through effectively. That's not just you, that's all of us, okay? If you don't get a time commitment, you're just giving your samples away, okay? So that's money that you've put forward to invest in yourself, your time, and this opportunity. Don't do it, okay? Don't big your blowest chance to follow up. That sample is that important, okay? Remember that. If I gave you this sample pack, would you be able to take the sample and get back to me? Get their commitment, get a day, get a time. You're giving them all of this up front. You've been great to them so far. They need to live up to their end of the bargain so that they can honestly review and look at it, try the sample, and then come back to you on that and set that expectation. It's like a ticket to a show or an event. We just don't give those away. You set a day and a time, and the same always applies here. All right. Confirm the commitment, step 6. Okay, so if I give you a call on Friday at 3 p.m., will you have tried the sample for sure? Okay, this is where you reconfirm. This is very important. It's just a part 2 of step 5 actually. You get them to commit and then you confirm it. Okay, you may be thinking we just covered this, but this is the part where it kind of registers with your prospect, and it's important that we break it out like this because we make every distinction possible in these steps and in these trainings so that you understand why you have to do it this way and why you'll be rewarded for it. And so we dedicate 2 steps to this commitment. The first is you get the time commitment, and then you get them to confirm the commitment themselves. And this way it's just making it crystal clear and easier for you when you follow up later with them. Okay, remember that these steps are designed to make not just your job easier, but more effective. It's all about effectiveness at the end of the day. When I say easier, none of this is really easy. We all know that. Being a distributor, finding great new distributors is not easy. We break it down into easy steps. But the delivery, the mastery, the art of these 8 steps is never easy. This takes time, takes practice, and you guys are all out there doing this every day in the field, and that's why we break it into these steps to clarify and highlight how to be most effective. Because at the end of the day, you can contact 100 people, but the effective distributor will get a lot more bang for their buck when they contact those same people. All right? Become a master of the steps, and your business, I promise you, will never be the same. Okay? The last part of the step is key. You tell them, I will call you. You don't give them an option. You take the action. You are the one in control here. And again, it's all about the psychology of making that commitment solid so that when a day goes by or 2 days, however much time passes between when the follow-up is going to occur, it gets difficult to do that follow-up for everybody. We're busy, we get distracted, and then the last thing you want to do is call somebody or contact them and then follow up on a commitment that you had them make 2 or 3 days ago. All of us come back a little bit weak when we try to follow up, and so that's why this is so important. Don't give them the option. You're the one in control here. This is where you take control and you say, I'm going to be calling you. I will follow up with you. All right. Just like a third step, really, of this whole process, but it's number 7. Get their time and number. What's the best number to reach you at? And that's key because we all have different ways to be contacted. As I just said here tonight, you can reach me on Skype. You can WhatsApp me. You can text me. You can email me. What do we do? Facebook, Twitter, so many other ways to get in touch with me. I have 2 phones here sitting at my desk, my mobile, my desk phone. I have a home phone. There are so many different ways that you can reach me. What's the most effective What's the best number to reach me at? And I tell everybody on the calls, you can reach me almost 24/7 if you call my mobile. You can text me, WhatsApp me there. You can Skype me as well. So we all have our preference. What do we fall back on? And for me, personally, that's email. I think it's the first thing I look at next to a phone call. All right, so you get the time and number. You just confirmed the day and time, and you tell them, I'm going to call you at 3 o'clock on Wednesday, okay? And that may be one day from now. That might be a week from now. The key is you make sure that they know that you're going to call them back. You know which number you can reach them at that particular time. So if they're home, do you call their home phone? Do you call their cell phone? Do you email them? What is everybody's method? I know some distributors, they love to use WhatsApp exclusively. They don't use email. You may be the same way. Your prospect may be too. All right. By being sensitive to this, it's about understanding them better so that you can create an additional level of commitment. And again, we always talk about breaking these down, and this is where it gets into an art, because it's something, no matter how good we are at it, at some point, and literally today, with all of the different types of social media and ways to contact each other and to do business, this becomes more relevant every year when some new way of communicating with people develops. You know, years ago, all we had was email. That's all everybody used, but that's not the case today. So just be prepared to move outside your comfort zone. We all have to do it, and it's important because you're going to be talking to people and new niches of people that do business differently. And that's just what we need to do, is be adaptable, modify. And the psychology behind these 8 steps and the art of inviting, you know, the commitment, the follow-up, these steps, I promise you it makes it easier too, not just for you. And again, it's about the prospect too. We want to make it easier for the prospect, especially when you follow up and do that second meeting, that third meeting, that fourth meeting, building this rapport. These steps are so key that you may do them a couple of times again with each one of these new prospects until you actually have that rapport develop to the point to where you're ready to get that commitment. And if you don't do it, you're at a disadvantage. Okay, there are people that can successfully skip a couple of steps and move right on. That's great. But again, we're all starting from the very beginning here. I'm looking at this and these trainings as if I were training somebody for the first time. And again, each time I learn something, and if you're the same as me, every time we go to these meetings and these trainings, we learn something new. And the best thing, keep the ball in your court. Keep the advantage in your court, and it won't contribute to what we all have at the end of the day. It's art. Everybody has a fear of rejection. We all naturally avoid a follow-up because they're not comfortable, or you get busy, as I said earlier. And there's a million different reasons why it's so hard to do the follow-up. But follow-up is key. If you take anything away from the training today, it should be the follow-up, that you get back to these people and do that on a consistent basis and be accessible to them. All right, so leverage the psychology behind the 8 steps. Make them work for you. All right, the last step is leave with urgency, and I'm trying to wrap things up right within 30 minutes today because I know your time is valuable. So you started the conversation with a sense of urgency, okay? You need to leave it the same way, okay? It's great to talk to you. Thank you for your time, and you wrap this up politely. If you did all of the other steps correctly, you've invested your time wisely, and it's time to end that time on a high note. You want to leave them in such a way that they will welcome the opportunity to speak to you again. All right? A lot of people are really good at the other 7 steps, and then they keep talking. And there's all kinds of great examples out there. I feel like I'm doing it even now in the training, but that's what this training is for, okay? But with your contacts, you don't keep talking. You wrap it up, okay? 80%, again, I'm going to keep coming back to that. 80% of all sales take place between the 5th and the 12th call, okay? There's no sense in trying to accomplish everything all in one meeting, okay? Here's another way of looking at it. And I've used this quote before, and I'll use it again every single time because I think it's funny and I think it makes the point. In a single day, Samson slew 1,000 Philistines with the jawbone of an ass. Okay, and every day, just as many sales are killed with this same weapon. All right. Don't try to sign them up on the spot. It usually doesn't work. All right. Focus your time on and energy on the 80%, all right? We know from countless statistics, this isn't just me, fewer than 3% of people are going to sign up on the first contact, so don't focus your time and energy there. The whole purpose of the Art of Inviting here today is to have a short, positive experience that leads to the next contact so that will be successful. It all leads to that. And these 8 steps are designed to do just that. It's a process. It's strategically designed to give you and your prospects the most positive experience with the most results that prepare both of you for the next contact. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day. All right. So thanks for being with me tonight. I love these trainings. I'll be sending out this recording tonight with some special news. But before I do, every webinar, I always tell everybody I want you to focus on 2 things, okay? We have this amazing Paradise trip, and it's, every month, I think exponentially now, more people are qualifying in this last month or 2 than were qualifying in the earlier months. Of course, it's exponential, as I said. So it's incredible to see just how many people are qualifying. We'll go over those numbers on one of our next webinars. And so November is the last month. We're coming up on the last month to qualify. So if you're close, now's the time to put in the extra effort to make sure that all of that hard work that you've been doing for the last 6 months, and actually last 9 months, it's been a long promotion, that it pays off and that we can get you there. We have already filled 2 hotels. I'm just telling everybody today. We're going to be closing this event off on November 30th. It'll be done. We won't be able to take any more, so make the best use of your time for the month of November. Make that big push to get yourself qualified. And those of you that have already qualified, you should either be working on getting a guest to come or getting flight credits, because those will be important as well. And again, if you're a customer, if you're a distributor or a preferred customer with an initial order of at least 100 PV, you're earning trip points. And the larger the orders, the more points you earn. And as long as people that you sign up continue to order, the more points you're going to earn. And that's key. And that's where you really recoup on your investment for this program. All right. We're going to be wrapping this up in 1 month. So, again, I think I hear on the slide today we're well over 50 qualifiers at this point. And that's why I'm waiting until next month to see just how many qualifiers we have, because we potentially will have more than, seriously, as I look at the numbers, we could have more than 100 qualifiers. That many people have fewer than 100 points to go. So keep on it. Everybody's doing it really well, and go for it. You've got 1 more month to just pour your heart into it and qualify for this great trip. All right, and then as I said, this is great. I don't get out into the market very often, but my commitment to everybody that I've been speaking with is that corporate will be present in market every quarter. Starting in 2016, we had a little bit of a break with the convention, so we're ready to get back on the road, and we'll be working with each of our leaders. And so to kick things off, we've got a great regional taking place next Saturday on the 31st of October. Halloween in the United States, okay? Also, the day before, there's going to be a VIP boot camp, and this will be some training with, I believe, Jed Buenaluz from the U.S. will be there doing that. And he's also going to be joined by great leaders like Brad Alkazin and Bas Bungie, who are going to be hosted both of these meetings. And you can see the contact information there below. Bas, it's BASPHPRO @gmail.com. I will send out a link with today's recording so that you can follow up with Bas directly and register on their site that they have for this meeting. It's going to be a big event, and I want to meet everybody personally, and this will be a great chance to just get to know so many of you that are new, and also those of you that have been with us for the last 10 years. It's great to see you all again and reconnect. And again, just keep in mind, I'll send out a link for this regional so that you can register for it right after the recording is done, downloading on today's program. So excited to see you all next week. It's going to be a great regional, amazing things that are happening. And last but not least, there's my email address. If you didn't get it earlier, it's briang@zango.com. You hit me up with questions. We can Facebook on Zango Europe, Twitter @ZangoEU. And, of course, any questions that you have, that's what we're here for. And I'm going to wrap it up with a nice quote. And it's all about routine. It has nothing to do with repetition. To become really good at anything, you have to practice and repeat until the technique becomes intuitive. And when you think about duplication, Malcolm Gladwell's example in his book Outliers is really eye-opening. And he says that it takes 10,000 hours to become an expert in anything. That's going to be about 4 hours a day for 7 years. So if it only takes you 7 years to become the very best, I think it's worth the investment, don't you? So let's decide to do it right. Treat it like a professional. We always say, if you treat this like a profession, it will reward you like a profession. And the key is understanding those steps, understanding the psychology, doing it enough until you truly become a master and an expert in those skills. And by focusing on those skills and truly making the commitment to practice and practice them until you master them, this is the type of profession, network marketing. There is no cap on your earnings with the Zango's Unilevel program. There's no cap. So if you do this right, it is an amazing career choice, and it's an amazing pay. Unbelievable. I look at what some of our leaders earn, and I'm ready to jump ship right now and become a distributor myself. So in closing, guys, love working with all of you. Love having you all on the call with me tonight. And it is a privilege and an honor to work with each and every one of you. Thank you for being on the call with me tonight. Have a wonderful evening. God bless, and we'll see you hopefully next week in Utrecht. Take care and good night.